So I had my little baby boy. This is Bradley Charles, and he will be joining me today for me to share my birth story with you guys. Yeah, I had an all-natural hospital birth, and it was amazing. So I will go ahead and fill you in and share all the details of that with you. I ended up having him on January 24th at 3:17 a.m. and I started labor 2 days before that. So that was on Friday evening. I started having some contractions, and I was 39 weeks and 1 day pregnant at that time. And I was having just some contractions in the evening. But I really didn't think anything of it at the time because I have been having contractions like this whole time, so many contractions. I actually thought that I was in labor like a couple of times because I've just had contractions and contractions and contractions this entire pregnancy. Anyway, and then they kind of tapered off in the evening, and I was able to get some sleep on Friday night. And then on Saturday, the 23rd, they picked up a lot during the whole day, like that they just increased throughout the day. They kind of started out in the morning at being like really irregular, like every 20 minutes, 15 minutes, every like hour apart. So they were really irregular contractions, but they were starting to get a little bit uncomfortable. And then by the time around like 6 o'clock that evening, I kind of thought, hey, this is like picking up. I think that I'm like in labor. The pain was starting to intensify, and they were starting to get like a little bit closer together. I think at this point at like 6 o'clock in the evening, they were like, I want to say they were like 8 to 10 minutes apart. And then by like 8 o'clock that evening, they were getting down to every like 6 to 9 minutes apart. And then at like 10 o'clock that night, they were getting really close together, like consistently like every 5 minutes. And then I was starting to get really uncomfortable. So we packed up and we ended up heading to the hospital at about 10:30 because they were starting to get like every 4 to 5 minutes apart. So we headed out at about 10:30 that night to the hospital, and I ended up being 3 centimeters dilated, which was really exciting. And I was really excited last time I went in too early, and then they sent me home with David's birth. So I was excited to like stay there, and I'm pretty glad that I went to the hospital at that time because things really picked up when I got to the hospital. So I was at 3 centimeters at about 11:30, and then my contractions were starting to get like every 3 to 4 minutes apart. And we got up to the birthing suite at about 11:45, I think, that night. And I was still pretty happy, like in between contractions. Like I'd have a bad contraction, they were really painful, but then when I didn't have a contraction, I was like fine, and I was talking and just laughing and having like a good time, I guess. And then I would get like really serious and have a contraction, and then just have a conversation again. And that lasted maybe like 45 minutes to an hour where I was still like feeling pretty good. I ended up not being in the bed this time, which was amazing. I had some energy. I was excited. I wasn't as tired as I was with my last labor, so that was really good, and that helped a lot this time. And my goal was for this birth was to try not to use or take any medication. I wanted to do like a natural, unmedicated birth. So I was standing a lot and swaying. When I would have a contraction, I kind of just like hunched on the bed a little bit or on Tony. But I was standing and swaying a lot. And then I think at about like 1 o'clock, I started to get kind of tired. So I laid in the bed for a little bit, and then I got kind of uncomfortable, and I'm like, I want to try the birthing tub. So that was really exciting. I got to try the birthing tub, and that was amazing. When they were filling up the tub, I went to the bathroom, and I passed my mucus plug. So that was exciting. So that happened. And then I got into the birthing tub, and I think I was in the birthing tub for about 45 minutes. But that felt so nice. I was able just to kind of like relax in the water and have contractions, and it was very quiet and very relaxing, and it was so nice. So that helped a lot. And I got out of the birthing tub, I think at about like 2:45 or 2:30 in the morning, I think. I'm not exactly sure. And that's when things really started to get bad. I had really bad back labor, which I had with my previous baby. Really bad back labor. So yeah, at this point I was like, I think I might need some medication. This pain is really bad. I don't know if I can do this anymore. So my nurse ended up calling my midwife to come in to check to see how far I was, because if I was, you know, at like 6 or 7 centimeters, then they would give me something, but if I was too far along, then I couldn't have anything. And I hadn't been checked this whole time. I was just checked in the triage, and then I wasn't checked the entire time until this point. So we had no idea like how far along I was at all. So my midwife had come in and she checked me and she's like, nope, you are 9.5 centimeters dilated, you cannot have any pain medication. And I started to lose my mind a little bit, because I was in transition. I was almost about ready to push and I was feeling it and I wanted drugs and I couldn't have any, and that was fun. So I kind of got a little bit overwhelmed at that point, and I was really upset, kind of started crying, and I was just like in a lot of pain and I wasn't handling it very well. But my midwife kind of told me just to stop talking and to stop making sounds and to just breathe quietly and kind of let my body do what it needed to do. And that did help. She ended up having to break my water because my water did not break on its own. So she broke my water at that point and then told me to flip around. So here I am like, you know, the bed is angled. So I'm up against the back of the bed, kind of on like all fours, but I was like hunched. If this makes any sense, hard to explain, but I was like my arms were on the back of the bed and then my legs were like, you know, in the knee position. So I ended up pushing and having him that way, which was awesome. It was amazing. I ended up pushing for just 7 minutes. It was great, and then he was here and it was awesome. I actually did not feel the urge to like push at all, which was interesting. My midwife just told me to kind of like let my body do what it needed to do, and it kind of just started pushing on its own, and then I pushed with my body and I ended up having him, and it was awesome. I might put in some pictures, I'm not sure. I'll have to look and see what I have of right after he was born, because I was naked, so I have to look and make sure that they're not inappropriate. Yeah, if I can find some decent pictures where I don't look completely naked, then I will put some in. But it was an amazing experience. Tony, my husband, actually helped catch Bradley when he came out and cut the cord, and it was just awesome. And then I kind of scooped him up and held him, and we had skin to skin for like almost 2 hours in the postpartum. They kind of left us alone, and he nursed right away, which is great, and it was just a really beautiful experience. And I will go into more detail about Bradley in our like 1 week postpartum update, which I'll be filming right after this one. But really quickly, he was 8 pounds even, and he was 20.75 of an inch long. So he was a big baby, bigger than Davy, and I was very surprised that he was 8 pounds. I mean, I had no idea there was an 8-pound baby in me this whole time. But yeah, my labor and delivery was really, really awesome. Unmedicated, natural birth at a hospital with a midwife, and I had a doula as well. So I really, really loved my whole experience. It was awesome and a lot more relaxed and less chaotic this time than my previous labor. So if you guys have any questions or want to talk about anything involving natural birth or whatever, please comment below and I will get back to you. And thanks for watching my story. I will link David's labor and delivery video down below if you would like to watch that one. But yeah, thank you for following me in my whole pregnancy journey and for helping me to welcome little Bradley into this world. Okay, so that's it for my labor and delivery video. Thanks again for everyone's love and support on my Instagram pictures, and I will talk to you guys later.